You did everything right. You worked hard, you proved your value, and your employer finally gave you that raise you have been waiting for. Maybe it was 3%, maybe it was 5, maybe it was even 10. You told yourself things were finally going to feel different. And then your next paycheck hit your bank account and something felt off. The number was bigger, technically, but your life did not feel bigger. Your groceries still sting. Your rent is still brutal. Your savings account is still sitting there looking embarrassed. And you are left wondering, where did the money go? You are not imagining it. You are not bad at math. And you are definitely not alone. What you are experiencing is one of the most common and most overlooked traps in personal finance. And today we are going to break down exactly why your paycheck feels smaller, even when you got a raise. And more importantly, what you can actually do about it. There are 3 forces quietly eating your raise before it ever reaches your wallet. The first is inflation. The second is taxes. And the third is a psychological trap called lifestyle creep. By the end of this video, you are going to understand all 3, and you are going to have a concrete strategy to start building real wealth instead of just earning more money and feeling the same. Let us start with the one that most people never think about: inflation. Inflation is simply the rising cost of everything around you over time. When inflation runs at 4 or 5% annually, which is exactly what happened in recent years, and your raise was only 3%, you did not actually get a raise at all. In real terms, you took a pay cut. Your salary went up on paper, but your purchasing power, meaning what that salary can actually buy you, went down. A 3% raise during a 4% inflation period means you are effectively earning 1% less than you were before. Your employer gave you more dollars, but those dollars buy less. This is not a conspiracy. It is not your employer trying to cheat you. It is simply the mathematical reality of how inflation erodes the value of money over time. The dollar in your hand today is not worth what a dollar was worth 5 years ago, and it will not be worth what it is today 5 years from now. The people who build wealth understand this, which is why they do not let their money sit still. They make sure their money is growing faster than inflation is eating it. We will talk about exactly how to do that in a few minutes. Now let us talk about taxes, because this is the one that surprises people the most. Most people know they pay taxes on their income. But what a lot of people do not fully understand is how tax brackets actually work. And this misunderstanding costs them real money in terms of the decisions they make. Here is the key thing to understand. In the United States, the income tax system is progressive, which means different portions of your income are taxed at different rates. When you move into a higher bracket, only the income above that threshold gets taxed at the new higher rate, not your entire salary. So the idea that a raise will somehow cost you money because it pushes you into a higher bracket is actually a myth. You will always take home more after a raise than before. But here is what is absolutely true. As your income rises, a larger percentage of your total earnings goes toward taxes, Social Security, and Medicare. Add in state taxes depending on where you live, and you can easily lose 30, 35, or even 40 cents of every dollar you earn before it ever reaches your bank account. So when your boss tells you that you got a $5,000 raise, you might actually be taking home closer to $3,000 of that. The other $2,000 went to various levels of government before you even saw it. This is not something to be angry about. It is simply something to be aware of, because it completely changes how you should think about what you are actually earning. There is also something called bracket creep, which is a sneaky phenomenon where inflation pushes your income into higher tax brackets even though your purchasing power has not actually improved. You earn more dollars, you get taxed at a higher rate, but those dollars buy the same or less than before. So you are paying more in taxes for the same standard of living. Historically, many governments have adjusted tax brackets to account for inflation, a process called indexing. But this does not always happen at the same pace that inflation actually moves. The result is that over time, even without a real raise, you can find yourself paying more in taxes simply because inflation pushed your nominal income upward. Now we get to the third force, and honestly, this one is the most dangerous because it is entirely within your control. And yet most people never catch it in time. It is called lifestyle creep, and it is the reason why people earning $100,000 a year can feel just as financially stressed as people earning $50,000. Lifestyle creep happens gradually and naturally. You get a raise, you feel a little more financially secure, and almost without thinking about it, you start spending a little more. Maybe you upgrade your apartment. Maybe you start eating out a little more often. Maybe you buy a slightly nicer car. None of these decisions feels reckless in the moment. Each one seems totally reasonable given what you are now earning. But the problem is that each of these spending upgrades comes with a permanent cost attached to it. A bigger apartment is not just a one-time expense. It is a higher monthly payment that you are now committed to indefinitely. A nicer car is not just the purchase price. It is higher insurance, higher maintenance, and higher payments stretching forward for years. One by one, these decisions quietly consume your raise before you have even had a chance to invest it. And then the next raise comes, and the process starts over again. The result is something financial researchers call the hedonic treadmill. You keep running, you keep earning more, but you never actually feel ahead. Your expenses expand to meet your income at every stage, and you are left wondering why more money never seems to feel like more money. So now that you understand the three forces working against you, inflation eroding your purchasing power, taxes taking a significant cut before it hits your account, and lifestyle creep consuming what is left, let us talk about what you can actually do to fight back. The first and most powerful move you can make is to automate your savings before lifestyle creep can touch your raise. This is called paying yourself first, and it is the foundation of almost every serious wealth-building strategy. The moment you receive a raise, before you change any spending habit, before you upgrade anything, you increase your automatic savings contribution by at least half of the after-tax raise amount. If your take-home pay increases by $200 per month, you immediately route at least $100 of that to savings or investments before it ever reaches your checking account. You will never miss money you never had access to in the first place. Where should that money go? At minimum, make sure you are maximizing any employer match in your 401k or retirement plan. An employer match is free money. It is the single best return on investment available to any employee, and not taking full advantage of it is leaving part of your compensation on the table. Beyond that, consider maxing out a Roth IRA if you are eligible. The Roth is particularly powerful because your money grows tax-free, and your withdrawals in retirement are also tax-free, which means future you is shielded from the same tax drag that is hurting you today. The second move is to actually calculate your real raise. Not the number your employer gave you, but the real number after accounting for inflation and taxes. If your raise was 5% but inflation is running at 4%, your real raise is closer to 1%. If you lost 30% of that raise to taxes, your actual take-home increase is even smaller. Knowing this number is not about being pessimistic. It is about being precise. When you know exactly how much your financial situation actually improved, you can make smarter decisions about how to deploy that improvement. The third move is to give every dollar in your raise a specific job before you spend it. This is a budgeting philosophy that's sometimes called zero-based budgeting, and it is extraordinarily effective for people who have experienced raise after raise without feeling financially ahead. The idea is simple. Before you spend the extra money, you decide in writing exactly where it is going. Some percentage to savings, some percentage to debt paydown if you have it, some percentage to investments, and yes, some percentage to enjoying your life right now because you earned it and balance matters. But the key is that you make the decision deliberately and in advance, rather than letting the money flow into vague spending until it disappears. The fourth and final move is to think seriously about investing specifically to beat inflation. Keeping money in a standard savings account that earns less than inflation is actually a slow form of losing money in real terms. Your balance might grow on the screen, but its purchasing power is declining. Index funds that track the broad stock market have historically returned somewhere in the range of 7 to 10% annually over long periods, which is well above historical inflation rates. That spread, the difference between your investment return and the inflation rate, is how real wealth is actually built over time. You are not just earning more dollars, you are growing purchasing power. Here is the big picture truth that ties all of this together. Getting a raise is genuinely good. More income creates more options. But a raise alone does not build wealth. What builds wealth is the gap between what you earn and what you spend, multiplied by the return you get on what you keep. If your spending grows at the same rate as your income, that gap never widens. The raise came and went and left no trace in your net worth. But if you protect even half of every raise from lifestyle creep, automate it into investments that outpace inflation, and understand the real after-tax value of every dollar you earn, the math starts working for you instead of against you. Your paycheck feeling smaller than expected after a raise is not a personal failure. It is the natural result of systems, inflation, taxes, and spending psychology that nobody ever sat down and explained to you. Now you understand them. And understanding them is the first step to actually winning against them. If this video helped you make sense of something that has been bothering you for a while, share it with someone who just got a raise and is wondering why it does not feel the way they expected. And if you want to go deeper on any of these topics, how to actually build an investment strategy, how to understand your tax situation better, how to design a budget that actually works for your life, we cover all of that on this channel. Subscribe and keep building.